I'm Raissa. I currently study PhD in psychology at ELTE, and I'm also an international student ambassador. And today I am here with Dr. Renáta Cserjési. She's a neuropsychologist. She's also a senior lecturer at the university from the Department of Affective Psychology. And also, she's head of the Integrative Neuropsychology Research Group. Thank you for taking your time to be here with us, Dr. Cserjési.
Thank you for inviting me, Raissa, but call me Renáta, don't worry.
So let's start with a really simple question. So you are a neuropsychologist, but this is not a well-known profession for some people maybe. So could you please explain a little bit more what does it mean to be a neuropsychologist and why is it important for the society?
Well, it's not that simple question indeed. Well, neuropsychologist is basically interested in the connection between brain functions, better to say brain dysfunctions, and the behavior. She or he is kind of aiming to get a better understanding by conducting research or by testing clinical patients to understand how and whether certain changes in the behavior or in the cognition how can be related to certain damages or problems in specific area of the brain. So, I mean, neuropsychologist is somehow a bridge between a neurology and a psychology.
Oh, that really sounds really fascinating. And then I come with another question that how did this become an interest for you? Why did you choose neuropsychology? And after, of course, interest in teaching at the university level.
Well, neuropsychology. So when I was at the high school, I didn't know what to study after. I always loved animals, so I wanted to become a vet, but I was afraid of them, especially of dogs bigger than a basset hound. So that was not an option. I loved biology, but chemistry was at my weak points. So then I decided maybe I would like to study medicine, but I realized that I'm terrified by needles. So at the end I choose a discipline in psychology that is closest to medicine and biology, which is basically neuropsychology. Why research? Why science? Well, I think because at university, in Page, I started to study psychology. I joined a research lab in the Institute of Physiology of medical school, where I conducted animal research. And I really enjoyed that. And I decided that time that I would become a scientist. It was like a game for me. It was a play. And it's just like asking questions that seems to be interesting and finding out the responses by conducting research studies. And still it's a game or a play for me. And so I really enjoy and I'm really fascinated by human behavior and human brain still there.
Okay. So could you tell us a little bit more about your research group now? I mentioned before the Integrative Neuropsychology Research Group, and also how can you, I don't know, conciliate your research with also teaching at ELTE? What do you like about it, about teaching at ELTE as well and doing the research here?
As you just mentioned, our research lab is the Integrative Neuropsychology Lab. In short form is the eMind group. And Raissa, you are part of it, so you know it, I can tell it now. So the center of our research is basic to understand interactions between emotions and cognitions, and also to see how the discrepancy between this emotion and cognition interaction might be related to certain psychological problems. Furthermore, we are very much interested how this relationship between emotions and cognition can change with age. We think that the balance between emotions and cognitions is different in young children compared to elderly or adults. That's why our studies are focusing on different age groups. We have studies with participants, with toddlers, for example, teens, young adults, or even elderly people. Lately, we are also interested in intervention, so how we can help to people using like psychophysiological-based feedback, also art therapy-based intervention, And we measure whether this intervention can help or increase the interaction between emotions and cognitions. As far as teaching concerns, you ask how is about teaching at ELTE. Well, I really enjoy teaching a variety of subjects, neuropsychology, of course, but also ethics for psychology students, and subject that's related to research. I really liked classes when we can kind of talk, it's interactive, and we had a discussion with students about ideas, and even we work on together on research projects. And what I also like to create something it can be applied and used in everyday life, for example, an intervention or learning something from the field. It's really exciting for me.
I really appreciate these dynamics in teaching, because as a student myself, it's really important that the classes are more dynamic. My next question would be, if you think it's important to study abroad.
Well, yeah, I come back to Hungary after living 17 years abroad, so it's just a bit more than a semester. And I did my undergraduate and postgraduate studies in Belgium, and also worked as a researcher in the Netherlands and in Italy. So what I learned basically is that, I think I became more flexible during these years. I'm more self-trusting and confident in my decisions in everyday life. It could be in a private life, but also in a professional life. And so based on this, I would really strongly advise to the student to go and study abroad a semester or even more if it's possible. I think it's very important to go, and if it's possible to go alone, not in a big group, to be able to immerse in the culture, to get to know new people, to get to know new way of living.
And what do you think, so many international students, including myself, choose Hungary to study?
You're asking why?
Yes.
What I think, it's my opinion as a teacher here at ELTE, I think Hungary is really rich in culture, and it has beautiful sites and history, and for students it's still affordable. And I think there are so many different programs inside and outside of university that they can enjoy. For example, in their spare time they can enjoy concerts, theaters not anymore only in Hungarian but also in other languages. But otherwise there are other possibilities like indoor and outdoor activities. I think it's so nice to go and run around in the Market Island, or just go and take a walk in the Buddha Hills, or go and visit a cave, or just meet people in the city, in a bar or in a party. And Budapest, I think, has actually ideal size. It's not too big, it's not too small. It's big enough to offer a lot of things for students, but it's small enough that students won't suffer from the long distance traveling, for example. They don't need to live in a campus. There they can come and meet in the heart of the city. But let me also ask you back, as a foreigner student or an international student, what do you enjoy staying here in Budapest, in Hungary?
Well, it's such a rich country in culture with a completely different language. So if you want to challenge yourself, I think Hungary is the place, because the language is really challenging. But I feel that ELTE offers so many supports for that, for international students, providing so many materials in English and helping us with this bureaucracy. So besides everything you said, I would add only my experience in ELTE in particular, why I choose, because it's such a, I don't know, internationally known university. So I think this is one of the reasons why I chose Hungary as well. It's I don't know, the perfect place to challenge yourself, to have fun, and of course to have a professional career, because the teaching here has a really high standards. What would you say in terms of research opportunities that ELTE has for the students, especially international students?
Well, research, I think, is very important. ELTE is a research university per se. And I think the professors here at ELTE are very much integrative approachable and try to get involved the international students in research projects, in PhD projects, and also they give them responsibility like organizing events, participating in a conference. And also one of my students I just asked, and she's also an international PhD student, what do you really enjoy as a researcher here in ELTE? And she said that basically what she likes that she got possibilities, openness, and a sort of getting and being part of a research lab. It makes her grow not only professionally but also personally, and it's feels like being at home somehow.
This is the end of our interview. I would like to thank you very much for your time again. It has been a pleasure to talk to you for this time, and I hope we can see each other soon.
It was my pleasure, Raissa, and see you soon.